I'm not really sure how to start this, so here it goes. I've been through a whole lot of bull throughout high school, as I'm sure most people have. A kid broke my wrist with a hockey stick. Two of my best friends overdosed on Xanax. Luckily, they lived. I had a bad concussion that made me do summer school. I had to move 750 miles from home. I had mono for 10 weeks and had to drop out of high school for a bit, and that's just the stuff I'm allowed to talk about. And then there's the normal high school stuff, parties, relationships, anxiety, and depression. You know how it is. Now, I might sound cynical or pessimistic, but I promise I'm really not. So here it goes. Quick side note, I'm going to show some pictures and videos from my high school years, and maybe I'll throw in some photography projects that I worked on. Okay, let's start. What I've learned. It's okay to be the odd man out. Embrace it. Being like everyone else is boring. If you're the weird one and everyone else is quote unquote normal, then you're doing something right. An example. My junior year, I was going to prom with my girlfriend. I was told by her friends I wasn't allowed to come to their pre-prom event because, and I quote, I wasn't cool enough. Maybe if they took the time to get to know me, they would have changed their mind. They also probably would have been less shocked the next day to find out their car had been egged. This leads me to the next thing I learned. Stupidity. I was a very quiet kid throughout the average day of high school. This didn't reflect my personality outside of school. I did dumb things. I made stupid decisions. An example of which is I crashed my car into a guardrail trying to make a yellow light on a rainy day. Now this doesn't seem stupid until I explain the behind the scenes of the crash. I was leaving my school, and this is important for the story. There was only one entrance and exit to my old school. In my car sat two attractive females. I was tasked with driving them because I am old, and I had my license before them. At the time, I was an acne/brace-face sophomore. These 10-minute drives were the most female attention I received besides from my mother. I heard one of the girls ugh as the light turned yellow. This was my shot. I sped up in order to make the yellow light and seem like a badass. Unfortunately, my 2001 Honda Civic sedan that we bought from our neighbors for $800 couldn't handle my NASCAR-type maneuvers like I hoped. The sprinkle of water on the road created a slick surface and I crashed into the guardrail. Luckily, no one was hurt because my car had a top speed of about 14 miles an hour. Unfortunately, the women were unimpressed and I have not spoken to either of them to this day. This was stupid of me. It was an all-around poorly thought-out plan that cost me any chance I ever had with them, along with a fair amount of money in repairs. And to make it worse, I was the first to leave school that day, so I had to suffer the humiliation of 1,200 students staring at me and my broken car as they passed by. But I am still here to say do the dumb things. The things that make you feel foolish. The things that you may regret the next day. These are the stories you will remember and the experiences you will learn from. Few people are going to remember going to bed on time on a school night, but they will never forget looking like an idiot. Live life, make mistakes, and live life some more. Side note, I am not advocating crashing your car to impress women. It will not work. Or at least it didn't for me. And this leads me to the final thing I have to teach you. Happiness. It took me all of high school to realize that other people's opinions really don't matter. There are plenty of people that change who they are to please other people, but more often than not they find themselves no longer knowing who they are. I cared about other people's opinions for way too long, and in the end I only ended up losing myself. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many people like you if you don't like yourself. So chase happiness. Because if you're not happy, then what's the point of doing anything? What's the point of waking up day after day to live a life you don't like just to impress people you don't really care about? Now I'm going to end this video with my favorite quote. It's from Don Quixote. Don't worry, Miss Nuremberg, I got the citation. When life itself seems lunatic, who knows where madness lies? Perhaps to be too practical is madness. To surrender dreams, this may be madness. Too much sanity may be madness. And maddest of all, to see life as it is and not as it should be.